Our man from the future was aware of somebody at the door, even though the old brick building was abandoned and would remain so for several years due to a clouded property title. Even though the entire neighborhood was abandoned by present civilization, somebody was at the door. Which wasn't really strange in and of itself, because the homeless and the destitute and the junkies were always trying to get in search of shelter or scrap metal. No, what made it strange was how he knew somebody was at the door. He could hear a rhythmic tapping. Tap, 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 tap. 5 loud taps on the door itself. And that confused him momentarily. But of course it was the knocking ritual. A person approaches somebody's home, knocks on a door, and expects to be engaged by its occupants. But this was the first time it had happened in the 6 months since the traveler had arrived from the future, so he was very suspicious. And nevertheless, he got up from behind his terminal. He ran past the toilet, ran past the pile of parts and tools on the floor that served as a makeshift workshop, ran past the door to the basement, locked from the outside, from which he had emerged months ago from decades ahead. The fact that the basement was scheduled to remain more or less untouched for years to come was what made it ideal for time travel. A persistent pattern to follow as a useful frame of reference is essential, considering the relativistic nature of spacetime. But he got to the door, the front door, and he opened the eye slit. It was a thin, middle-aged man with a mustache. He was wearing a suit and clutching a clipboard. "Mr. Sims?" he asked. "Yes," the time traveler responded to his alias. "My name is Harvey Thompson. I work for the Securities and Exchange Commission." Please, I would let you in, but you have caught me in a state of, undress. If you would wait just a moment." He closed the eye slit. A minute passed. Harvey knocked again. No answer. He motioned for his partner, who was sitting in the car, to come assist him. Eventually, they got the door open and went inside to execute the search warrant. The squatter was gone, but it had left quite a mess for them to go through. Auto parts, electronics, cockroaches, expired cans of beans that must have come from the local food bank, and computer equipment, but all the data storage had been removed. Agent Harvey Thompson stroked his mustache with concern. Statistically, there was a near 100% certainty that this Mr. Sims fellow was conducting significant insider trading, yet there was no hard evidence. "Janet, why does somebody who's turned chump change into $100,000 in 6 months live in a place like this?" "And why does he lock his basement door from the outside?" Janet replied. Harvey readied his weapon as his partner unlocked the door to the basement and took out a flashlight. "Maybe he doesn't want the gremlins escaping." Harvey walked down into the darkness.